Hello, this is the Cobra MT40VXKIT, which is a multi-tool kit that comes complete with a hedge trimmer and a pruning attachment. And there are other tools and attachments that are available and will fit on this. So this is how it arrives with you in this cardboard box. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take the tape off, unwrap everything, get it out, and then I'm going to show you how you can assemble it and start and use it around the garden. Here it is all laid out on the table so you can start pruning and trimming around the garden. We've got the battery and the charger, which we'll come back to in a minute, and the all-important owner's manual. So do read this, do use it, and then keep it somewhere safe so you've got it to refer to at a later date. This is the power unit here. So this is where the battery will go when it's charged up, and it's obviously got the controls here and the trigger to start it. And what we'll have to do with that is just fit this handle onto it. You don't need any tools, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. It's got the harness there just to pop over your shoulder to make it easier to use, and then the two attachments. So one of them is a pole saw just here, which attaches on very easily, and then this one here is the hedge trimmer, which I'll take the cover off and show you in a minute when we put it on. The first thing we need to do is to get the battery on charge, and here it is. We've got the charger and the battery. It will come with some charge already in it, but it's good practice to fully charge it. So I've plugged the charger in, and we simply just slide that into position like that. Very easy to put in position, and when we've got there a green flashing light, that tells us that the battery is charging. When it goes a solid green, it's fully charged. And when we need to take it out, it's very simple. It's just the red lever at the back. Just lift that and then it will slide off, and then you can use it. And just a little bit of information on the battery care. Store it somewhere at room temperature. Lithium-ion batteries don't like to be cold, so room temperature is ideal. And then in the winter, when you're not using it, again, make sure that you bring it into the house rather than leave it over winter in a cold shed, and that will greatly improve the performance and the life of your battery. So we'll put that back on and get that charging. First thing is we can put the handle on. So if we just take that apart like that, take the little red piece off, and then you'll see it's hinged like that. So I'm going to put it on this way, so as we're looking at it, we can just hook that over there. It is adjustable, and then that just goes up through the holes from underneath like that, and then we can just tighten that back on. And then if I just turn that over, we'll see here there is a lever, and that lever can be used to lock this into place like that. So if that still is loose, then what we do is just tighten the red one just a little bit more until that is then nice and tight and clicks into position like that. So that's the handlebar firmly in place. And then there is also the strap here, which we can put on at this point. So this again is adjustable. This is one that you would just put over your shoulder when you're using it. And essentially that clicks on to this just here like that. So we can just click that on there, and we can also take it on and off this way as well if we want to. So then all we need to do is decide which tool you want to put on, and it just basically fits into the end of the drive shaft just here. So if we start with the pole saw, always leave the covers on when you're working with them, just for safety, and we can fit that onto there. So what we would do here is we've got a protective cover on the back, so we just need to gradually take that off, just twist it round like that, and we can see here that this is the drive shaft that will connect into this one just here. So we just line it up like that with this little arrow there, and then just slide that into place, and it clicks. So if I take it out, we just push the button, push it back, and that is clicked into place, and then we can tighten it to hold it firmly with that. So it literally takes seconds to fit that. To take it off, it's just reverse, and then we will fit this one. This is the pole saw, as I mentioned. So this is essentially a little mini chainsaw, so you can prune branches up in trees and do all sorts of pruning with that. But bear in mind, to use this, it has got to have chain oil in here. So the chain oil goes in here. We just take this cap off like that, pop the chain oil in there. You must never use it without the chain oil, otherwise it will seize it. And if I just turn that round, when you've got your chain oil in, there is a maximum and a minimum, so keep your eye on it. It feeds oil onto the chain to lubricate it continuously, and when the oil level drops down, then obviously make sure you top it up with the right oil. Also on the shaft, you'll notice there's a little spanner with an Allen key on the end, and that is used for if you need to change the chain on there, put a new one on, or you want to adjust the tension. So to do that, I'm going to wear a pair of gloves, because when you're handling the chain, it's always best to put a pair of gloves on because they are sharp. So we'll just pop those on. And if I just take that off now, I can show you. So there we have the chain, and that's already tensioned. To remove the chain and put a new one on, then we would take this cover off completely and fit the one. If we just want to adjust the tension to make sure it's right, then we use the other end of it, the Allen key, and around at this end here, we've got the little tensioner there. So we put that in and we can slack it off or tighten it to get the correct tension. So quite an important piece of equipment there. So make sure you keep it safely on there for when you need it. To change the attachments is very easy. So I'm just slackening off just here and then push the button there and out that slides. So we can just pop that one out of the way. And then if we fit this one here, it is again, take the cover off. It's always a good idea when you're not using these to put the covers back on, just to prevent anything damaging the shaft there. And again, it's a case of lining it up so the hole is there. Just wiggle it in until it clicks, like that. You sometimes have to give it a little twist just to align the shafts. That's in firmly, and then tighten that one up, like that. And then this one we can adjust, obviously this is folded away. Little red trigger there just to release that. We can alter the angle with this. It's an articulated head, so whatever angle we want to cut with, we can do that. And just a little tip to get the cover off, you'll notice here there are two arrows, little black arrows on the case there. What you need to do is just give that a bit of a squeeze, and it just releases the tension and it will come off. So just a good squeeze there and it comes off. And then we can see here we've got the blade on here. And as I say, we can adjust that angle to do the tops of hedges, the sides of hedges, just to make it really comfortable to work with. Now the battery's charged, we can put it in. I'll show you how you start it. And of course, to test your battery is charged, just push the little button on the end. And when it's fully charged, you get the 4 lights on there. Very easy to fit the battery. It goes on the back of the unit here. It will only go in one way. It just slides down and you've got to just click it into position like that. And then to release it, we just push the red button there and out it pops. So very, very simple to use, as are the controls. We have here the trigger underneath. We can't pull the trigger up and use it until we push this button in. So you've got to, with one finger, push that in, and you can use this left or right-handed. Push the button in and then the trigger. It starts automatically. And we can hear that cut in. And if we want to go, that's the economy cut. If we want to go on turbo, if we've got slightly thicker branches, then we can just use this button and it switches it across the turbo. Same again, button in and the trigger. And it's as easy as that. And then when you're finished, that will time out very quickly and switch itself off. So as you can see, both the pruner and the hedge cutter make a really good job and make it easy to cut your hedges and do your pruning. And remember, there are other attachments that will fit onto this power unit. So enjoy using it around the garden.
Remember to register your Cobra online at cobragarden.co.uk. Always have your Cobra serviced regularly. Check the website for your nearest dealer.